Hey everybody, welcome to REIPrintMail. My name's Charles, I'm a Senior Direct Marketing Coach. I'm here with Jake, another Senior Direct Marketing Coach. And in today's segment, we're gonna talk about touches inside of a campaign. Jake, what is the best way to determine the right number of touches when you're putting together a campaign for a client?
Starting strong. There's a lot of factors to it, but I think the biggest one is probably how much data we have in the area that fits within their buy box. But then also another huge factor is their budget, right? So if we've got 10,000 records and their budget fits that 10,000, we're probably not going to overload them by sending all 10,000 at once. Depending on the area, they're going to get like 50 to 150 phone calls out of that.
Yeah.
If you don't have a call team and you're not using our call team, that's going to be tough to handle yourself. And so we'll break it up into segments of 2,500 pieces per week, or, a little bit more expensive, but a little bit easier to handle, 1,250 on like Mondays and Fridays. Some people choose to do it that way. 2,500 is the most cost effective. So a lot of factors, but mostly data, how many calls you can handle, and your budget.
Gotcha, awesome. So basically, like, do you want it spread out over the month? Or maybe you're a person who wants to be overloaded at the beginning of the month and then be light at the end. So it's kind of a preference thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've got guys that they'll do the first 3 weeks of the month where we mail only those 3 weeks, and then the fourth week we don't mail because they want that for follow-up time, right? So a lot of factors.
Got it, awesome. Well, hey, moving on, next question. How do you avoid overwhelming recipients with too many touches?
Good question. Usually what rule of thumb is hitting them once a month. You want to hit them frequently, but not too frequently. The further apart you hit them, the more life can happen and the more that they could be factors that influence their likelihood to sell. But also there's a thing called time decay in a list. You don't want to hit them like once every 6 months, because we're pulling lists for people that are supposed to be on the brink of selling their property. We want to get to them pretty quickly and pretty frequently, but we still have enough time. So there's a sweet spot, and usually that's about a month.
Gotcha, awesome. Is there like any types of list where you would choose to hit them quicker than a month or wait like longer than a month? Is that determined by your target audience?
Oh, definitely. We've got guys that pay a pretty penny for really good pre-foreclosure, foreclosure, probate, inheritance list, stuff like that, where it's almost like they're a time bomb, where it's like they have a certain amount of time until they're gonna sell because they have to.
Yeah.
Foreclosure is a great example of that. We want to get in front of them as many times as possible before they do sell. Every day is too much, and then once a month may be too little. So there's definitely a balance, but in that situation, you do want to hit them more frequently than you would like a tired landlord or a senior.
Gotcha, awesome. So then after you're doing all these touches and the frequency, how do you measure the effectiveness of those frequencies and touches in a campaign?
Great question, and that just comes down really to response rate, but then there also is something to be said about response rate being lower, later on, but that's because most of the people that we're going to call did call. So response rate's the best way to tell. If I have a client that in their first month got 30 calls, and then they got 25 calls, and then they got 15 calls, that might be telling me that, hey, we shouldn't maybe hit it a fourth time. Maybe we should refresh the list. So it really does just come down to response rate. But there are situations where if in that 15 calls at the end where they got 2 deals and stuff's still looking good, typically we refresh the list, but a lot of times we would hit it again.
Yeah, so really tracking that data and paying attention to the data is really going to be important in this scenario.
Absolutely, and that's why I urge most of my clients to go through our KPI tracker or track their own inbound calls, because I usually will do monthly KPI reports, review calls rather, with my clients where we go over the phone calls, the deals closed and stuff like that. So it can really help me as a coach help them, right?
Okay, yeah, awesome. Well, Jake, thank you so much for answering the questions today. Guys, if you have more questions regarding these topics or any questions whatsoever, feel free to reach out to myself, reach out to Jake, or any coach here at REIPrintMail. Don't forget, we got a link below here. Click on that. It'll give you access to all the coaches, get you on a call. Also, don't forget, like and subscribe. Thank you guys. Have a great day.
Thanks, Charles.